Looking for some fast air fryer dinner ideas? I got you. Today I've got 5 different meal ideas just for you that you can whip up in your air fryer in less than 30 minutes. You in? Keep watching. My name is Kathy and I'm here to help you actually use that air fryer and get it out of the box. And because it's a small, compact convection oven, there's little to no preheating, foods cook faster, and cleanup, it's a breeze. The recipes I'm going to show you today could easily be adapted for 1 or 2 people, or they will work for a big family just like mine. You ready? Let's go. This recipe is a special request from one of my viewers, Caveman76. This one's for you and everyone else. So stromboli is essentially kind of like a calzone, but not. It's kind of like a cinnamon roll pizza, except you cook it in a log. You can pretty well make this however you want, and it cooks up so good in the air fryer. If you want some homemade pizza dough, I have an amazing recipe. I will link to that below. But for today, I'm keeping it ultra simple. Now this is like a 9 by 15 square of dough, so I'm just going to cut it in half because obviously that will not work in my air fryer, and I can make 2 cute little logs out of it. I'm just using some Prego spaghetti sauce. You could do butter and garlic. Just don't put anything along the edges. And layer up your meats. On this one, I'm gonna do pepperoni and salami and some provolone cheese. And then I'm just gonna do an egg wash here to help everything stick. And then you just roll it up like a cinnamon roll. You'll see the filling is gonna kind of squeeze through here and then pop it right in your sprayed air fryer basket. Then I just cut some vents and brushed it with a little egg wash. And then I'm cooking it right in the air fryer at 340 for 10 minutes. While that's cooking, I'm just gonna make my other one. This time I'm gonna make it the same, but also add fresh basil, mozzarella cheese, and some ham slices. And here we go, after 10 minutes, I got my instant read meat thermometer just to see how hot it was inside. I'm gonna give it 3 more minutes, but at a lower temperature because I don't want the top to burn. I've got some boys that just got home from school. They're gonna be excited about this stromboli. And check it out, this is beautiful. It lifted so easily right out of the air fryer. And you guys, look at this beautiful gooiness. Time for the taste test. And guess who just walked in the door? High schooler. Test it out, tell me what you think. Ooh, hot? Teenager approved?
So good.
So good?
Very good.
Would you eat this for dinner? My sweet sister-in-law shared this next recipe with me. It's air fryer tilapia. And if you're not really a big fish lover, tilapia is a really mild tasting fish. So you'll get all the health benefits without that fishy flavor. I just went to my butcher block and got about a pound of tilapia. And this is simple. She recommended this fish fry breading mix that I've never used before. So we'll see how it turns out. Just dip the fish in the egg, dip it in the breading, and I just set this aside on a plate because I needed to spray my basket. And hey, heads up, I found some pure avocado oil with no propellants or chemicals at Trader Joe's. You just want to make sure you coat that breading with oil. That way it'll get nice and crispy. And just FYI, my verdict on the Trader Joe's spray is that it's nice, but it does spray a bit heavier than I prefer. And my Kasori air fryer was spot on. I pushed the little fish button and it cooked at 350 for 8 minutes and it was perfect. I did not even need to flip it. And I was so surprised at how great this tasted. Try it.
No, you're smiling like it's bad, like you put poison in it. What even is this crustiness?
It's called fish fry.
No, what is the crustiness?
It's called fish fry. See that bag right there?
Oh, it smells good. Send it. That's hot. Let me hold it. I'm not a baby. Stop smiling. Hot.
How is it?
I don't even taste anything. Why Cam? It just tastes like salmon.
I don't think it's like...
Mom, you should have told me that was good. Mom, you should have told me that was good.
Come over here and say that again.
Mom, you should have told me that it was good. You didn't even tell me that, Mom.
I did tell you it was good.
This is good. You were laughing.
Oh my gosh. Teenager approved. I've been making these barbecue chicken burritos for a long time. Then when I added the air fryer to my process, wow. Let's check it out. The first step is to get some cooked chicken. I love to do this right in my Instant Pot. I've got about a pound of chicken tenders. I just throw a cup of water in there and some salt and pepper. Pop the lid on. And then I cook it at high pressure for 10 minutes. If I have frozen chicken breasts, then I would do probably 20 or 25 minutes. Then when it's done, release the pressure, take the lid off, and I drain the juice, and I just chop up my chicken right there in the Instant Pot with my meat chopper tool. Then I throw in a can of rinsed black beans, and then I add some corn. I like frozen corn instead of the canned corn. And then I just splash on some lime juice and dump in some barbecue sauce. With this amount of filling, you could easily do 8 burritos, maybe even 10 to 12. And this recipe freezes so nicely, so you could use half of it now and then freeze the rest for another day. Then just scoop some of the filling right on some tortillas, top it with some cheese, and then I grab some sour cream and use that as my glue and fold the tortillas in thirds and press them down flat. Lightly spray your basket, pop the burritos in there, and then lightly spray those. My sprayer is a little heavy here. Cook it at 350 for 5 minutes and just flip it one time halfway through. We've had these before, but we haven't crisped them up in the air fryer yet. Try it out. Those are good, huh?
They taste the same, kind of.
They do. They're just
the outside is more crispier and yummier.
honey, garlic, chicken, and veggies cooked all at the same time in the air fryer. If you're only cooking for 1 or 2, just cut the recipe down in half. Cook times all the same. Let's go. Here I've got just over a pound of chicken tenders. If you're using chicken breast, just cut them into some slices. And then this delicious marinade. It's just a 1/4 cup of avocado oil, 3 cloves of garlic minced, and then a tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce. And now it's time for the honey. You know I love to use my scale. You'll need a total of 3 tablespoons. That's about 63 grams of honey. Be patient and squeeze that out. Then whisk it all together. Then get your chicken and toss it in the bowl with the marinade, and you can let that sit while you chop up some veggies. And the veggies I'm using today is some broccoli, and I am quick and lazy about my chopping process. It doesn't have to be pretty here, folks, just make them bite-sized. And then I have some mini red potatoes, and I'm just cutting them in half. If you have larger red potatoes, just cut them so they're about 1 inch cubed. I think green beans or zucchini would also be delicious with this meal. Then just pop all the veggies into the air fryer and then mist it with some oil. I just poured on a tablespoon or 2 and stirred it all up. Excuse my messy kitchen here. Then I threw on some salt and pepper, and then I'm just gonna lay the chicken right on top of the veggies and then drizzle all the rest of the glaze right over the top of all of that. And then we're gonna pop it in the air fryer at 350 for 14 minutes. Here we go at 7 minutes is my little reminder here to flip that chicken. Pop it back in. I love how it just starts right back up for me. And here we go, 14 minutes later, chicken is perfectly done. I'm going to set this in foil and let it rest. And while it rests, I'm gonna finish cooking up my veggies. And this is where you just test one out and see how tender it is and decide how much longer you want. And I decided to go 350 for about 10 more minutes. And here we go. I probably did cook that a little too long. My broccoli is pretty crunchy, but my kids actually really liked it. Next, these air fryer steak fajitas are so delicious. Ooh, you're gonna love this one. Here are the veggies I'm gonna use, and boom, it took me 5 minutes to cut a half of each one of these. Set those aside, and then it's time to slice your steak. Pat it dry, cut off the fat, and then just cut the steak against the grain into thin little slices. I just had 1 steak left, so that's what I'm using. You'll want about 1 to 1.5 pounds of top sirloin steak or any other steak. And then I'm pulling out my handy dandy little baggie holder. This is also another meal that will freeze wonderfully. Just throw all the veggies and the steak right in the bag. And then I'm gonna make my marinade. Start with 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm patiently getting the soy sauce out. 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using avocado oil. And then for some spices, you'll need a 1/2 teaspoon of each. Ground cumin. Forgive my laziness here. I'm running out of my spices, so I'm kind of throwing them in. Some chili powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Whisk that up and then just top it right on top of your veggies and steak. Seal up the bag, get the air out, mix it around, and then pop it in the fridge. I had a good playing mom taxi, so this has been marinating for about 1 hour. So I'm gonna preheat the air fryer and then we're gonna throw this in. We definitely want the air fryer preheated so we get this nice little sizzle.
Yeah. Now it's really cooking.
Dump everything into the air fryer, just spread it out, and then we're gonna cook it at 360 degrees for 14 minutes. And notice I pushed the snowflake button. Tell everybody, why do we press the cute little snowflake button?
Because it can remind us to shake it.
When it's halfway through cooking, right?
Yep.
Yep. Yay! Here we go at the halfway point. Just stir it around. It's looking and smelling wonderful. Let it finish cooking, and oh yeah. You could enjoy this in taco shells or over a rice bowl or salad. This is so yummy. Are you feeling inspired for your dinner time? Guess what? I've got more recipes for you right here. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you on the next video.